Yeah, it's Longview from Green Day's 1994 Dookie album. Whether you call it punk rock or power pop or pop punk, we can all agree that Mike Dirnt kills it on the bass. This is a super popular beginner bass riff that everyone wants to play on day one, but there are a bunch of ways you can go wrong. So in this video, I'll walk you from level 1, Noob level, to level 5, Mike Dirnt Beast level. And I'll also show you how to steal some of Mike's moves to make more magnificently melodic bass lines. I couldn't think of another M word. Here we go! This song is named after Longview, Washington, supposedly the first town where Green Day ever played it. The music video went nuts on MTV and played a big part in Green Day's mainstream popularity. In this video, we're just gonna focus on the main intro and verse riff. If you wanna learn the full song, how Mike played it, I made you a bass tab with sheet music, and the link is in the thing. So level 1, the Noob level, is the bare minimum you need to get by in a garage jam. We're playing all the right root notes, but without any of the fancy flourishes. And you can hear even this basic version has nice singable notes and a consistent walking rhythm that carries the groove on its own. This is a great riff for beginners to practice fingering because you can exercise all 4 fretting fingers. Middle, pinky, middle, index, shift, middle, pinky, ring, middle. You'll see why we're doing that in a second. Shift back, middle, pinky, middle, index, pinky, middle, index, middle. This fingering will help you play efficiently so that your notes are nice and long and flow into each other like this. A crap fingering will introduce extra noise, cut off notes, and general crappiness. Here's what level 1 sounds like with the track. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I sit around and watch the tube, but nothing's on.
Your level 1 takeaway is that if you're a super beginner and you want to play songs that might be a little above your non-pay grade, just start with the most standout notes and rhythms, like I did for this level. To do this yourself, you can use the caveman method. Just imagine that you're in a cave with your little eggshell smooth cave brain, and you're hearing this song for the first time, and it sounds like dun 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 dun, and that's your Noob level bass line. In level 2, we're bringing in the swing. We're adding the extra notes that Mike plays at the ends of bar 1 and bar 2. This helps the bass line and the drums vibe more and gives it a more distinct rhythmic pattern that's more memorable. But wait, those notes are written like eighth notes, but they don't sound like eighth notes. They're called swing eighths, where instead of splitting the beat in half, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and the eighth note comes later, as though you're splitting the beat into 3 and leaving the middle note out. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. This gives the song a lumpy, uneven feel, like punk rock meets blues shuffle, and the song would sound totally different if the bass and drums weren't swinging. By the way, Dirnt is a stage name for Green Day bassist Michael Ryan Pritchard. Dirnt was a grade school nickname because he went around school playing air bass, and he would make a dirnt, dirnt, dirnt sound when he plucked his air strings. My nickname in grade school was Josh Subscribe to BassBuzz Fosgreen because I kept going around telling everyone to subscribe to BassBuzz even though neither BassBuzz nor YouTube had been invented yet. I was not popular. So if actually counting this all out, like 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, is too confusing, just think of your main notes as dirts, dirt, 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 and think of the swing eighths as bonus does. So you'd sing dirt, 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 dirt. At best, it'll help you nail the rhythm. At worst, it'll help you make some new friends if you do it out in public. People often get these added notes wrong and just play them as like throwaway open strings. But if you listen carefully, they're actually specific fretted notes that are part of the melody of this bass line. Here's what level 2 sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I sit around and watch the tube, but nothing's on.
Your level 2 takeaway is you can give a simple bass line more character by adding some little filler notes in between the main notes. You can use scales to do that, like how Mike Dirnt did here, or you can just kind of freestyle it. That'll help you turn something straightforward like this into something more distinct like this. For extra safety, you can add them as a bonus in between the existing rhythm. In this level, we nail the tone and add the holy pick. So why do you need the holy pick for this bass line? It gives you a more aggressive, cutting tone that stands out more than normal plucked bass tone. So the tab doesn't change for this level, you just play the notes with the holy pick, and you can hear how different that sounds than your normal fingers tone. Not so fast, because there's a pick trick to playing this correctly. If you watch Mike play it, you can see he plays all of the main quarter notes as downstrokes and the swung eighths as upstrokes. This is important so all the strong notes on the beat get the same oomph. Because if you go down, up, then you get this strong, weak pattern, which doesn't work for the song quite as well. So you want to go down, 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 up on the swing eighths, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 down. Here's what level 3 sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sit around and watch the tube, but nothing's on.
Side note, the pick also sets you up for that big slide at the bass entrance. It just flows really nicely with the pick, and with fingers it sounds kind of like dumb and chunky. Your level 3 takeaway. Using a pick is a super cheap way to totally transform your bass tone and change how the song sounds. It makes this walking line sound much more aggressive and less like jazzy.
I'll sit around and watch the tube, but nothing's on.
Longview came out as the debut single on Dookie in 1994. Billie Joe Armstrong says that Green Day never used guitar tuners before Nimrod in '97. He and Mike Dirnt would only tune to each other's instruments. If only they'd taken my Beginner to Badass course where I would have taught them to tune in the very first lesson. If only. And that's why level 4 is to tune all your strings down a half step to match Billie Joe and Mike. E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat. And then you play everything 1 fret higher to compensate. This actually sounds pretty much the same as the previous level, but now you get to play in the key of E, which looks more familiar on the neck, and it also sets you up for the final Dirnt move coming in level 5. Most bands and songs are tuned E standard, E, A, D, G, which is why we call it standard. So the alternate tuning here contributes a subtle feeling of something different, which is a small part of what makes this bass line stand out. The lower tuning thing also creates the catastrophic possibility of reading Longview tabs from the 7th fret without tuning down, which sounds like this. Here's what level 4 should look and sound like. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your level 4 takeaway is alternate tunings are a cool way to make your bass sound and feel different. You can get way weirder with alternate tunings than just E flat standard, but E flat standard is really cool because it's still 5 half steps between all the strings, which means all your familiar shapes for scales and arpeggios and everything are still gonna work the same. Finally, level 5, we're gonna learn it just like Mike Dirnt burnt it by adding some tasty open strings to our last few strums. This is not just a subtle detail, it's a really cool way to play high melodic notes, but keep the low end rocking so the track doesn't feel empty on the bottom. There are a bunch of other songs that do this really nicely, like All Right Now, Lopsy Lou, Love Will Tear Us Apart, bass chords fill space in a distinct way, which is another part of what makes this bass line stand out, and not just another dirt, 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 dirt riff. This level doesn't change your fretting fingerings at all, just make sure you leave the D string clear to ring on that last bar, and make sure you do all downstrokes on the last measure so they're all evenly strong. So here it is, level 5, maximum Dirnt mode. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your level 5 takeaway is open strings are a really cool way to fill out your high notes so they still have bass meat. The limitation is you need to do this when the root note is one of your open strings. So in standard tuning, if you're on an E, A, D, or G chord, you can just let that open string rang and then play some higher melodic notes on another string using whatever scale relates to that chord. If you don't know what the hell a scale is, then you really need to check out my bass scales video. I'll walk you through all the basics of how to play them on the bass and how to use them to actually make music so you don't sound like a bass bot.